Hey YouTube, so the other day I heard something about terrorism or terrorists and how, they're putting this country at risk and everything. And all this terrifying crap on the news, and I'm like, I was sitting here thinking, what is the definition of a terrorist or terrorism? And then I decided, hell, I'll Google it, because Google's man's best friend. Interestingly enough, when I tried to Google the definition of terrorism, and I tried to access it through Wikipedia, Google would not let me access Wikipedia. Not for terrorism and then not for anything. AOL search did let me access Wikipedia, interestingly enough. So I looked up the definition of terrorism. The use of violence, this is by Google's definition, the use of violence and intimidation in the pursuit of political aims. Definition of terrorism. Okay, what is the definition of a terrorist? A person who uses terrorism in the pursuit of political aims. Pretty much the exact same thing, right? The definition of terrorism under US law is, the term terrorism means premeditated, politically motivated violence perpetrated against non-combatant targets by subnational groups or clandestine agents. Interestingly enough. And the League of Nations Convention in 1937 marked terrorism as all criminal acts directed against a state and intended or calculated to create a state of terror in the minds of particular persons or a group of persons or the general public. Interesting. What does the media do every day? Fearmonger. Fearmongering is the use of fear to influence the opinions and actions of others towards a specific end. This feared object or subject is sometimes exaggerated, and the pattern of fearmongering is usually one of repetition. Because you say something enough times, people will recall it as truth. What is the media doing with Iran? Fearmongering. They have a nuclear warhead, they're creating a nuclear warhead, the world is at stake, Israel is at stake, the USA is at stake, and they beat this into our heads. Who is committing terrorism? The United States of America. Who is fear-mongering? The United States of America. Also the Canadian government. I would go that far to say that they are using terrorism as a means to their end and fear-mongering to the Canadian citizens. American military, Canadian RCMP, American police departments. Your elected officials are committing acts of terrorism. They are terrorists. They are using fear to manipulate for political gain. Yeah, oh, surprise! Wow, the definition of terrorism fits the American government. How is that not just so blatantly obvious? What are they doing? Terrorists... Oh, wow, hold on one sec. I need to collect myself here. I was starting to stutter. The American government is using terrorism on other countries. They are terrorizing citizens. They are terrorizing their own citizens. They are committing terrorism. What is this war on? Terrorism. It's hilarious how they hide the truth blatant for everyone to see. This is a war on terrorism, which is, a very open-ended war, because anybody can be committing terrorism or be called a terrorist now, right? Take in Canada, for example, extreme radical environmental terrorists. What the fuck is that? Somebody that is opposing the North Enbridge pipeline or whatever, the Keystone pipeline. Those people are considered terrorists by the Canadian government. Why? Because they do not want this. They're standing in the way of Canada's political gain. So they're calling them terrorists because marking them terrorists is good for Canada, it's bad for the radicals. It's ridiculous. People are being called terrorists because they are against the government. The government is in its own act conducting acts of terrorism. If you are police, if you are a military official, or anybody, if you're a freaking grunt, for crying out loud, you have the right, if you took the oath, to uphold the American and the Canadian Charter of Freedom, American Constitution. You should do such by arresting your elected officials for the President of the United States of America, terrorism. He is a terrorist. Obama is a terrorist. Yeah, that's right. He is. Why? Because he uses fear to means to a political end. American government. Everybody's getting guilty of terrorism. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. Ha 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 ha. You fooled us all. It's bullshit. Excuse me, it's bull. It's ridiculous. People are just eating this shit up. Repetition, fear-mongering. What is the media telling you every single day? What did they tell you about Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction. They have WMDs. They have WMDs. They're gonna blow us all up. They're a danger to everyone. Did they have WMDs? No. We were wrong, but we needed a reason to go there, so, War in Syria? I'm wondering, why does China and Russia not want the American or the UN to intervene in Syria? Because they say they're their own country, let them be. They're, I'm sure, important to China and Russia. They're against America, so I can see that as instantly being a reason why America would want to support the rebels, which apparently have Al-Qaeda and two other terrorist groups the American government is assisting Al-Qaeda and two other terrorist groups against the Syrian government. This is not for democracy. Turns out, Syria happens to have a rather large stockpile of chemical or biological weapons of mass destruction. What would happen to those weapons of mass destruction if the Syria regime were to fall? Well, since the American government would be taking control, I'm sure they would end up funneling those weapons of mass destruction to, say, friendly allied Arabic countries or whatever, friendly countries in the area, to the United States of America. Sorry, my English is not very good right now. I'm a little bit flustered with everything going on. So, if the regime falls with President Assad or whatever, America's gonna take their WMDs and distribute them to allied nations in the Middle East. Oh, fantastic! You can distribute weapons of mass destruction to your friendly allies in the motherfucking Middle East, but you can't let Iran have a nuclear bomb for, oh God's sakes, they might hurt us! They're gonna use that, they have no regard for anybody, they have no self-respect, no survival instinct or nothing, they're just gonna blow the shit out of everything. Really, the thing with WMDs is they're one of these guaranteed extinction kind of things. You use that, someone's gonna nuke you, right? That's the whole, you use your nuke, I'll use my nuke. I'm a bigger country, you're a smaller country, blah blah blah. Who's the only country to ever use a weapon of mass destruction, okay, say a nuclear bomb, against another country? Pretty sure it's the one country that's refusing to let Iran have a nuclear bomb. Well, that's Israel too. So let's say America. America is that one country. Yeah, they used it at Hiroshima, bombed Japan, because they had to stop the war. They had to use this weapon of mass destruction. America's stockpiling weapons of mass destruction. These WMDs, I'm sure they've created chemical and biological weapons of mass destruction as well. But Iran can't have a single one. Syria, what's going to happen to all those weapons? Oh, they're just going to get funneled everywhere because Syria hates America. Why? Because America's always sticking its goddamn nose where it doesn't belong. No wonder nobody likes America. If you took some Middle Eastern people, you put them in Guantanamo Bay, you had American flags everywhere, and you beat the crap out of them saying, America is God, we love America, beat the crap out of these people all the time for years, then release them back to their own countries, I'm sure they're gonna be motherfucking pissed and want to come back and blow the shit out of you and your country. Because America is God, we love America, yeehaw America! Because a bunch of rednecks were beating the crap out of these Arabics or Middle Eastern people, whoever, send them back there and now they are now terrorists because they hate America. I wonder why. Duh. Oh God. I don't understand how people can see this. I really don't. I quit one of my jobs because, you know what? I'm not supporting this machine anymore. I'm not going to simply be a cog in the machine. I'm stepping out. Hopefully the machine falls apart without me. I'm just one person, though it won't, sadly enough. But by telling you guys, hopefully together we can make change. Because you get a bunch of cogs together and you suddenly step out of the machine, machine's gonna be missing some vital parts and start to crumble. So that is all I have to say to you. It's an angry friggin' terrorism rant bullshit. It's ridiculous. America is supporting terrorists. America is a terrorist unit. America is conducting terrorism on its own people and everything. It's silly. We all gotta breathe. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to hide. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You are the terrorist.